With revolutionary updates of Open Animation Replacer, we have received one of the most amazing conditions, angle detection. As a result, slope animations have been created, a mod that takes advantage of this incredible condition to animate traversing up and down the sloped surfaces, with the different animations playing depending on the terrain angle. The mod is purely visual, adds no gameplay changes, and is fully customizable via MCM menu. The entire thing is fully powered by Open Animation Replacer that I covered previously on this channel. With the 2.2 update, new conditions called Movement Surface Angle and Is on Stairs has been added, which determine the angle of the terrain and thus when and which animations will be triggered as a result. I do recommend extreme accuracy in MCM, as I found this option to be the most responsive to terrain angle change. Now, something for first-person perspective fans. First-person interactions is a mod that adds context-aware animations when interacting with the world in first-person perspective. It animates a bunch of different actions to slightly boost your immersion with subtle hand gestures. The mod also takes advantage of Open Animation Replacer and adds hand gestures for actions such as simple looting and picking up varied items, opening chests, containers, and crates, picking up coin purses, plucking flowers and ingredients from the ground, and even more obscure actions such as praying at different shrines. Next, Conditional Idles has received a significant update a few weeks ago. I covered this mod in the past, and it adds condition-based animations that take your resource bar or different weathers into the account. However, the reason we are revisiting this mod is because animations when traversing shallow water surfaces have been added. This addition aims to slow down and animate the actor in shallow water to simulate water resistance as you move forward. This feature can be turned on and off, as the mod also now includes mod configuration menu. For frequent viewers, you might remember that Underdog mod from a previous video also does the same thing. The difference being is that Conditional Idles is fully based on OAR, which allows for more user-friendly control. I myself prefer shallow water surfaces from Underdog, however, both are equally viable options to have. One of the most valuable parts about the modding in general is the learning process and knowledge growth about the game as you work on your coding knowledge. Well, I may have something for you mod authors of the community. Boot.dev team has created a platform with a mission to teach you programming focusing on back-end development while taking a unique approach. Essentially, Boot.dev is a programming RPG that tries to tackle challenges of boredom by making your coding journey fun with experience, quests, levels, and achievements with a global leaderboard if you're feeling competitive. In the process, you will learn back-end web development from start to finish in a Python and Go programming languages in a self-paced and unique way that feels like a role-playing game. The platform is designed to get you writing a ton of code because getting your hands on keyboard and shipping projects is the only way to really learn. Now, the median salary for backend developers in the US for 23 is $100,000, and that's quite a bit, especially in today's economy. So, as a role that is often remote and hybrid, it's a pretty good career to get into, and with Boot.dev you can start your journey in a fun and dynamic way, all the while being supported by their Discord community where you can get all the help you need with coding challenges. So, click the link in the description and use my code SINGAMING to get 25% off your first payment for Boot.dev. That's 25% off your first month or your first year, depending on the subscription choice. Thank you to Boot.dev for sponsoring the channel. Now that the non-combat animations are out of the way, let's take a look at some weapon movesets that you can add to your animation repertoire. From Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, which was only partially responsible for my absence, the coolest movesets from the DLC have been imported. ER Light Greatsword moveset pack introduces weapon animations for one-handing, two-handing, and dual-wielding, also utilizing OAR to distribute these to the player. It offers a 5-combo normal attack chain and 2-combo power attack chain, which can be mixed. I was also very pleased to see that this moveset pack, whether one-handing or two-handing, also covers sprinting attacks earned from a perk tree. If you're looking for something more grounded, a Warden moveset might be a good pick. This animation pack is for greatswords only, and using OAR, distribute these only to city guards and soldiers in the province. Both normal and power attacks can be chained endlessly, limit only being stamina, and also fully offer sprinting attacks. Both of these movesets are specifically made for MCO or BFCO. These animation packs utilize the tools that we covered in my previous in-depth combat video and are a great addition to your moveset arsenal, if you like their style of course. I will be keeping both, especially ER Light Greatsword, as it perfectly fits the fantasy-based combat I like having in my game. Let's take a look at the small mod combo I use in 2024 to overhaul the capital of Skyrim, Solitude. First, we will add Solitude Watchtower, a new and unique model for the tower itself that serves as a minor landmark for travelers located at a crossroads. It makes entering the area more grand and appropriate for capital of the province. Next, Solitude Tower Flags, an older entry to this mini overhaul that simply introduces Solitude flags to all of its towers, adding much more identity and symbolism to the city. After that, Solitude Clock Tower, another simple yet significant atmospheric mod that adds a clock to the tower of Bard's College. The clock will chime out the time, which could be heard throughout the entire city, for a very atmospheric and medieval feel. For Blue Palace, we will add one of the greatest overhauls ever created. Blue Palace Terrace is a mod that merges JK's Blue Palace and Drengin's Palace Terrace into one of the most aesthetic and functionally impressive castle overhauls, with incredible compatibility in mind through impressive patching support by the author. It completely redesigns the entire palace, where it almost feels like a spoiler to showcase it all, as exploring the entire castle is a completely fresh experience for anyone looking to add it to their playthrough. One of my most favorite mods ever created for Skyrim has officially received a huge update, adding a plethora of new features, and that's Legacy of the Dragonborn. For those that are out of the loop, Legacy is the most acclaimed expansion-sized mod for Skyrim, offering extensive display space for artifacts and Elder Scrolls, with nearly 4,600 potential unique items to procure and display. Through research and thorough exploration, players will be sent out to scavenger hunts for different artifacts, and is a dream-come-true mod for every seasonal relic collector and a lore enthusiast. The museum will offer a spot for every artifact you find, and will track all your accomplishments as a Dragonborn. It does this by introducing detailed displays for certain faction quest achievements, location exploration, or just simple artifact attainment. These artifacts are not just for show, as some of them are very powerful and are a great addition to your arsenal. They offer a variety of different bonuses and can drastically help your future endeavors, regardless of your playstyle. So what's new in Legacy of the Dragonborn version 6? In Hall of Natural Science, we can find a recently integrated space reserved for a new activity added by the mod, fossil excavation. You will now find fossils in mining nodes and fossil beds to create natural science displays. A safe house has received an upgrade with another integrated feature. This little abode is a fully equipped player home with all the amenities you could ever want, with every crafting station available. Safe House Plus offers a space for a family or an entourage, and is available for purchase at Bits and Pieces. The biggest addition comes from 9 new patrons visiting the museum, voiced with 3,000 new lines by incredibly talented voice actors.
It's always amusing watching the common folks scramble about in awe.
Just the craftsmanship of the Nords led to rather rudimentary artifacts.
Skyrim has always been praised for its exploration element, where visiting new locations and fighting varied creatures is the core gameplay loop. However, there was one thing that the game always needed to supplement this, a feature that most modern RPG games add to their UI: a bestiary. Well, we finally got a mod for that. Dragonborn's Bestiary is a mod inspired by Witcher 3, and adds a codex-type user interface feature that details creatures, their lore, strengths, and weaknesses. Unlocking most creature entries can be done by simply killing them, however, also possible by summoning or interacting. The base mod comes with 122 bestiary entries, covering all vanilla, DLC, and some community creatures. Speaking of creatures, here's some that I use. Simply Better Wolves for standard canine creature overhaul, Fourth Unknown Spriggans for an interesting take on these tree-like entities, and new Falmer and Draugr models with major visual improvements, while making sure to stay true to their original visuals. With Bestiary Add-On mod created by a different author in the community, we can make sure that the Bestiary itself is consistent with these new creature overhauls. The Bestiary Add-On changes images of existing creatures to match your mods, improves vanilla creature images, and adds new for community created ones. Let's take a look at some visual effect improvement mods that came out in 2024. Flame VFX Edit overhauls vanilla fire spell effects by improving color gradient and shading, introduces completely new meshes with soft bloom and lens flare, increases particle count and improves their visuals with minor adjustments, with full support for ENB light. It replaces effects for spells such as flames, flame cloak and fireballs, while also improving generic explosion effects caused by expert spells and runes. Similarly, and my favorite of the two, we also have Frost VFX Edit by the same author. This same overhaul principle has been applied to Frost type spells by changing color gradient, shading, and UV map scaling. Frost spells emit less visual clutter, but somehow still manage to look colder without sacrificing their visuals. As far as weapon effects are concerned, we have recently gotten a mod that adds magic trails to precision, a combat mod showcased in my previous video. Using trail feature offered by precision, the mod applies fantasy-like effects for all enchantments. This means that storm-enchanted weapons will now leave a very cool trail effect with each weapon swing. Of course, same applies for weapons enchanted with fire and frost. The mod was inspired by Vibrant Weapons, it's purely visual, and adds no gameplay changes to the game. Time to revisit City of Whiterun and its wall fortifications, as the mod previously covered on this channel has received a rework. Whiterun Has Walls Redone is a mod that reinforces this center of trade by fortifying it with gigantic walls and turning puny fortifications in the vanilla game into impressive ones worthy of a city located on a large bluff. Besides obvious shift in design from its predecessor, these walls are made to be traversable by both player and NPCs. The mod also separates districts with structurally sound fortifications, which add to grandness and scale, but also functionally make sense in faction war scenarios. The mod has been also created with compatibility in mind, as the author provides patch collections for popular mods like JK Skyrim, Lux Orbis, and many others. To support this mod, I have recently added Tomato Whiterun Retexture Pack. These textures cover pretty much everything in the city, exterior or interior. It has over 200 textures and fully supports parallax for extra visual fidelity. The author has added a lot of parallax carvings to these textures, which add much appreciated depth to buildings affected. They are available in 4K resolution, introduce custom stained window textures, and perfectly complement Whiterun Has Walls Redone. Alright, here's something for the screen archers of the community. Screen Archer menu. This is a mod that I only recently discovered, and by typing SM in console command and afterwards choosing a hotkey, access a menu with tools that enables you to do pretty much anything you want to accomplish that perfect screenshot of your big-breasted anime waifu. Control camera in any way you want by moving on X, Y, or Z axis, yaw, pitch, or roll, or even adjust the field of view. Control equipment by hiding or unhiding certain pieces of clothing without having to repeatedly open your inventory. Adjust expressions of your character to achieve the desired effect by messing around with a bunch of sliders, and all of that without having to open a character creator. You can also mess around with skeleton nodes, which essentially allows you to fully adjust limb and head placements for that perfect screenshot angle. You can also pause the game, choose different poses with ease, access all locations made available by Script Extender, and many more features for your screen archery endeavors. As far as graphical improvements that I chose for this year, there's one weather mod that I always considered my favorite, but left it behind as it was aging. Well, the weather mod has been updated, and that's Azurite Weathers. Volumetric lighting has been completely overhauled across the board, and as a result, sunlight appears stronger and more pronounced, making sunny weathers more dramatic and intense. Storms are fiercer and more prominent, with its intensity fully reinforced by new rain and thunder audio, and is my favorite weather type overhauled by Azurite. Snowstorms are bright and vigorous, with snow fogs being thicker and more noticeable. They are also supported by updated audio and turn survival playthroughs into a completely fresh experience. The ENB preset that supports Azurite Weathers 2 is previously covered Picho ENB, and it's as good as I remember it. The author describes this preset as innovative, as it includes features unfrequently utilized by other presets, like Adaptive Bloom, Clamp Adaptation, and additional weather tint capabilities. Also, if you're wondering about these neat idols, They are Dynamic Female Weather Idols by Sonderbay. But that's it for today's video showcase. Make sure to endorse all the authors and consider subscribing to the channel. But I'll cut to rambling for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.